Good luck.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Game Addicts podcast, the podcast where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. You moved the microphone stand.
No, you didn't pull the table back far enough.
Well, I do apologize. Oh, I want to have a little bit more leg room. We're not like.
I have less.
Do you have less?
I have less.
All right, right here.
That's a good enough.
This right here. This is the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I'm your host, Brando. He's Player 2, Mike.
Hello.
And today we're going to be looking back on one of our favorite video game series throughout the years. Series that I and you have both taken some time to really collect for and get as many as we can. And that is the Legend of Zelda. And basically, with the Breath of the Wild having just come out for the Wii U and the Switch, and that game's freaking awesome.
Yes.
It is like I think this is really like an opportune time to look back on the series and kind of go through the entries and our history with it and where I was really into it, and then I didn't play it for a while, and then I came back to it, and then I went away again. You know, it's like the series is awesome all across the board, but it's just a matter of
Except two.
Oh well.
Except two.
There's definitely one in this pile that I have right here that I really don't like, but I definitely have some pretty cool stories about how I got a hold of them. Finishing off your Big Red.
Yes, that's our sponsor today.
Our sponsor is Big Red. Dude, I found a full 24 pack of Big Red.
It's awesome.
Like, I normally ever find it in 12, but it was a full 24.
I wish I would carry more of that. But anyways, back to Zelda.
Where did you first play Zelda?
Super Nintendo.
Same. Link to the Past.
Yep.
This one right here. Now, if you guys have watched the Super Nintendo retrospective that we listened to that we did a few weeks ago, we talked a lot this ad nauseum.
Yep.
And I'll just kind of repeat the story a little bit about how some kids that my mom babysat would bring games over, and this is one of them that they brought over, and I was just in awe of this game. Yep. I'm like, this is awesome. This is, of course, the old school. This is like the top-down 2D run around hack and slash, find secrets. This basically is like a way better version of the original game.
Yes.
Because the series kind of changed a little bit throughout the series, and they tried new ways of doing gameplay and different things. But let's just kind of like go back just a little bit and let's talk about the original game, because I never played the original game when I was a kid.
I don't think I did either.
You know, I now have it, and I actually have a manual that's missing the cover, which I didn't even know I had this when I bought the game.
That's cool, though.
But it's really cool because, like, even
look at the little drawing. The little drawing cracks you. I mean, look, you don't have those anymore. What is that?
Actually, in the
I almost want to make like a little.
I was just talking to Nate. He was here the other day, and we were looking at the Shovel Knight physical copy game on the Wii U, right?
Right.
And it has a full color manual in this style with the drawings and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. Like it went really old school with how they did the manual, which is not what you find anymore. You don't really find a whole lot of manuals. But I do have the original run. It's the gold cart. You would normally think that the gold cart's the more rare one, but it's not.
No.
It's actually the more common one. To find, it's got red on it.
Yeah. Just like you're moving around. I'm like, why is that red? It's supposed to be gold.
Looks like a marker of some sort.
Yeah.
But the more rare one is the gray cart, because that is the reprint.
Right.
When they did another run of them, all the original runs were the gold. And then when they went back and they did like the greatest hits or Nintendo Selects, whatever they're called, Player's Choice, whatever, they did a regular gray cart, and they did that for the first two. And I got this shortly after I started collecting for the NES.
Right.
I found this probably within a week or two after I got all my NES games, and then I actually not long after that I bought a big bundle of that was my $60 Peru bundle, where it was on Craigslist, where the dude was selling his NES, his original toaster NES, which is down there somewhere.
Yeah.
And it came with 29 games. And one of the games was Zelda. I already had it, so I ended up. I think I traded it to Rob.
Right.
and I kept the one that I thought was in just a little bit better condition. Sorry, Rob. But he didn't really like. They were both in pretty good condition. I do have some paint chips here and there, coming off.
Personally, me, I'd rather have the gold card. I like the look of it better.
I do too. I really do too.
Because isn't that one of the few that was like that on the original Nintendo?
Yeah, like the Zelda games are gold card, and
yeah.
The Tengen or Tengen, whatever you want to call it, those carts are completely different shape, and they're black.
Right.
But as far as like actual gold cards, I think the Zelda ones are the only ones. If I'm not, please do correct me in the comments of the video or whatever. But wow, that was a burp and I almost sound like a Turian. And I beat this game for the first time in 2015.
Took you a while, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It was summer shutdown, and I was it was one of those things where like I was trying to figure out what I want to play.
Right.
There's no new game out for a while. I'm looking at old games. I'm pulling games out, putting them in, playing them for a while, putting them away. Not finding anything that sticks. And I told myself, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the original Zelda, put it in, and I'm gonna beat this damn game. And it took the better part of that. I started it, and it was almost like a week. Or I just came back here. The baby wasn't here yet. So that's what I was doing. I was spending every fucking day back here playing that game. And of course, there's not a whole lot of guidance. You just wander.
Yep.
Very similar to sort of another game later on that just came out.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of takes that same adventurous attitude where it's like you're rewarded or punished for going in the right or wrong direction.
Right.
Like it's
but I believe that the Breath of the Wild now, spoiler, that's what we were going to say. Anyways, that you can adapt. Mm-hmm. This one you can't adapt. If you go the wrong way, you're screwed. You've got to turn around and go all the way back.
So yeah, I was very proud. Now this does have, after you beat the game, it's like, hey, guess what? There's an arrange mode where we've rearranged all the items and quests. I didn't play that. I thought the first one was hard enough. And of course, that's what they did with these old Nintendo games. They put more challenge in. It was so hard that, you know, like if you go back and play any old Nintendo game or Super Nintendo game even, you're going to be frustrated sometimes with how hard the games are. This next one, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link. This was gifted to me by Aaron from work.
Right.
He gave me this, and he gave me Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. He found them in his garage in a box. Said, I don't know if they work, but here they are. And the label's in pretty darn good condition. A couple scratches. There's some paint wearage on the back, and it's definitely been worn. And I'll be damned if when I first tried to play it, it didn't work. And after I worked on it and cleaned it, it works.
Right.
And after I beat Zelda 1, I'm like, I'm going to beat Zelda 2. And I fired it up, and I said, no.
Yeah.
I don't like Zelda 2.
It's completely different. It is not...
It's a side-scroller.
It's a side-scroller, but it's like a... yeah.
Like fighting with like a little tiny little like a paring knife or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very frustrating. I understand that people love it, and I don't. I tried playing it. I could not get into it. But with this, I was so happy that he just gave it to me because that means I didn't have to buy it.
Yeah.
Especially finding out later that I didn't like the game that much. But then again, I got this not long. I got Link to the Past. I got that not long after I started collecting. And of course, I told the story on the SNES episode about loading it up. Of course, I've played and beat this game countless times.
Yeah.
Probably my most beaten game of all time. And loading it up, and there's already 3 saves on there, and then one of them is Pablo. So
you
like
gotta play through as Pablo. Like
a Pablo to the past.
A Pablo to the past.
And then you. And then there was D Nice. Capital D period, capital N nice, you know, but that made me laugh. I deleted the only one that was a normal name, and I want to say I kept Pablo and D Nice on here just as a because you only need one. You only need one, and this game, as I said, I beat it so many times on the Super Nintendo, on emulator, on the computer.
The second I got that game, remember when I picked it up? I literally the next day sat down and beat the whole game.
Did you?
I sat down and beat the whole game right
Oh,
there. I could not play it.
Oh, I mean, I told you that I beat this game on my phone.
Yeah.
On the SNES
with
episode.
It, all the controls reversed.
Well, yeah, it was basically Southpaw because I had the little shift keyboard.
Yeah.
For the Evo Shift, and you had like a little like arrow key button over here where it was like a pad, and you just moved it. And so yeah, it was like I had to train myself on what buttons were what over here.
Yeah.
Keep them and it was difficult. But I actually enjoyed the challenge. Now on that same game over here on the Game Boy Advance is Zelda: Link to the Past plus 4 swords.
Mm-hmm.
And the only again, this is like you want to talk about learning the controls.
Yes.
Here it is again. I mean, that is you go into this game, you go into the GBA version, and you're just the action button, the lift button is the R button.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to that.
It's very awkward.
Yeah, but I mean,
I remember I beat it through on that. And it was it was awkward.
Well, because your gut reaction. I mean, because the original game utilizes the 4 face buttons,
right?
And then like the R and L buttons, I think they're just like map buttons or something.
I think so. I think you're right.
But it's how cool is it that we had a handheld back in the early 2000s that was like basically a Super Nintendo in your pocket. You know?
Man, I wish that now. I tell you what, Nintendo has done it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that's back. It's
Yeah.
not in your pocket anymore. It's in your backpack. But, I mean, that's essentially what you have.
The next game that I played, though, Link's Awakening. And again, this the same guys that introduced me to Link to the Past introduced me to Link's Awakening. He had it on Game Boy, and my cartridge, my label's got a little bit of damage I didn't realize.
Oh, no.
Yeah, look at it, man. It's like...
I see it. Don't pull it anymore. Quit it. Stop.
It wasn't in the best shape anyway, but I have the Link's Awakening DX version, which is basically the re-release with the black cart. That means It's got Game Boy Color enhancements to it.
Yep.
And this game was originally started off to being a Game Boy port of Link to the Past. And then they started realizing that they were limited a little bit on their technology and what they could do, so then they ended up just kind of making like a Link to the Past inspired-esque Game Boy game. And that's what this became. And this game is freaking awesome for what it is. And I mean, obviously, for this being the first handheld Zelda,
it was...
Oh man, it did really well.
It was the first one?
Yes.
The 4 seasons and...
Yes, because this was originally just on Game Boy, and then
you're right. Yep.
The other ones were made for Game Boy Color, which I didn't play back in the day, which I have now.
Oracle of Seasons.
Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and I think these came out after Ocarina.
Let's find out.
Wow. I also have like the manuals for these. I ended up getting a deal with Silent Rob's wife, Gretchen, where she had both of them. And when I did my big video game haul, she offered them to me, and I said no at the time. And then I asked her sometime later, I'm like, you still got those? And she goes, yeah. And then ended up, she only had one of the games, but still had both manuals. She couldn't find the other game. So then I ended up having to track down the other game, and I bought it at that one N&B game store downtown Lafayette.
I love it. That's where I got my Zelda. No, it wasn't. I got it at this replay, because remember what I said at work? If I find it there, I have to buy it.
What one was it?
Zelda. You were with me.
Which Zelda? We have
Link
a lot
to
of
the
them.
Past.
Oh, Link to the Past. Okay, I'm just saying, we have a lot of games.
Yeah, it's true.
But I haven't really dived into the Oracle games. I have them, but it's just a matter of like...
Oracle of Time, 1998.
Oracle of Ages?
Oracle of Time. Or Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina
Why did I
of
say
Time.
Oracle? Ocarina of Time, then Majora's Mask, and then Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages were
2001?
2001.
Jesus Christ, I didn't realize it was that late.
That's Wikipedia.
Okay. Yeah, because Ocarina did come out. I remember that. See, I thought Ocarina was 97, but I guess it was 98. This game, dude, this was the first 3D Zelda.
So, I never owned it.
I never
owned a 64. I said on the SNES episode that I have never owned a 64 in my entire life. That's going to change. But, yes.
I played this. I didn't own a 64 either until much later, but I did get a chance to play this ad nauseum at my buddy Preston's house. He had it, and then he was like showing me all the stuff you could do. And of course, I'm a big Link to the Past fan, so like I thought it was cool, but at the same time, is like I miss my top-down Zelda, you know.
I did not like the screen where the way that the screen works is that you move Link around, but it doesn't actually follow him around.
You didn't
so
like
you
that on your screen?
I didn't like it on my screen, but you have to reset it a lot. So you're moving around, then you reset, and you move.
That's a lot of games from that era, though.
I hated that.
That's a lot of 3D games from that era because they didn't really nail down the second stick controlling, which of course the N64 doesn't have a second stick at all. But like even on like the PS2 games, if you go back and play some of these old 3D PlayStation 1 games and 2 games, even some of the PS2 games aren't really good. You actually have to reset the camera a lot.
Yep.
And it wasn't until like around the PS2 era where they started getting it right.
That middle of the PS2 era, they started getting it
right. Well, some games just utilized it, some games didn't. But I did play quite a bit of this with my buddy, and me and him would like trade back and forth, and we play through. And then it was much later that I ended up getting a copy and owning it. This also has a gold card variant.
Yes.
Then unlike the NES ones, that one actually is a little bit more hard to come by.
Yes.
That is a collector's edition, if you will. Majora's though, I never got into Majora's Mask. I didn't like it.
I believe on the 3DS version, the 3D effect to it. But I didn't. I got to. I think I got like a total of 5 or 6 masks, and then I was like, I'm good. It's that resetting the camera that bothers me.
I like the concept of you being on like a timer to save the world.
I hated that.
You hate it? I think it's kind of cool because it's different. Like not many games do that. This was originally supposed to be like an expansion for Ocarina. This was supposed to be a Nintendo 64 disc drive game.
Yes.
And so when that didn't really happen and come out, they just put it on a regular cartridge and put it out. And again, like what this came out in 99. Is that what it said? 99, 2000?
I don't know. I'll bring it back up and we'll just keep it out.
Because I know it wasn't
2000.
Was it 2000? I know it wasn't
2 years
too
after
long.
Ocarina.
But like think about that. Like 2001, the GameCube came out.
Yep.
So I mean, very interesting. Wait, was it 2000? Yeah, it was 2001 because 2000 was PS2 launch.
And then the next. Never mind. We continue. I was gonna jump ahead, but we're still talking.
Well, okay, because we're looking at like the next one on here says 4 Swords, and I don't have 4 Swords.
Oh,
like,
the original 4 Swords.
Is it just 4 Swords separately?
I believe so.
Because in 4 Swords Adventure, that's on GameCube. I don't have that, unfortunately. But then we're looking at Wind Waker, right?
Yes.
Wind Waker, and I've got that on GameCube, and I did buy the. I have the HD.
So we have 4. Let me see this. Let me see 4 Swords. This 4 Swords.
That's 4 Swords. So that's 4 Swords on.
That's the 4 Swords Adventure. So we are missing a few.
Let me see it. Let me see this real quick.
Because it has 4 Swords, 4 Swords Adventure.
No, not that one.
What you doing?
Clicking on stuff.
Clickety click.
Oh, hey. When I clicked on 4 Swords, it took me there.
So it is. So this is the first one.
Yeah, and then 4 Swords Adventure is the one that is on GameCube.
That we do not have.
Yes, no, I do not have that. I've seen
That's the one that you can link with each other to actually play. It's different. One. Yep. I've seen it quite a bit.
I've seen it, and it's just it's like $40-something.
Yeah, $40-something, but to even make it viable and fun, you need to have a link cable.
I rented it by myself, and it's just not that fun by yourself.
Yeah.
But Wind Waker, I was deterred from playing Wind Waker from the very get-go.
I did too because it's Toon Link.
I didn't like the graphic style. I thought it looked goofy. I didn't like it at all. But the first time I played Wind Waker wasn't on this. It was on this.
Yes.
This is the promotional disc that came with the GameCube. Not originally, but it ended up being packed with it. Cool story. I ended up having 2 GameCubes in my hand at one point because we went and bought me a GameCube for $99. I bought it so I can like not play it for 2-3 months. Because then the Metal Gear Solid remake was coming out for it.
Right.
And I just asked my mom if we could get it for like an early birthday or for a Christmas present. And she goes, it's $99. She goes, sure. So we went and got one, and then we went to EB Games.
Yes.
And in there they had a GameCube with this pack-in. And I'm like, oh, I was showing my mom, like, I wish they would have had that down there. Because I bought the original one at Sam Goody. They had it. And so we bought this version, took the other one back, and just returned it. Like, literally within 20 minutes of having bought it.
Huh.
Because we found at EB Games one that had this. Because at least this had some games.
Right.
And it comes with the original Legend of Zelda on NES. Comes with Zelda 2 on NES. Comes with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on N64. And then it comes with the playable demo of Wind Waker.
That's a phenomenal pickup.
And
those are... let's look on price. You have the price guide, but...
yeah, Mr. iPhone. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I really wish they would come out with a better one. If you guys know one, please put in the links because I have yet to find one. I actually have to manually go in through each site to find out the pricing instead of doing what we used to do and pull it up on our phones and say, oh, yeah.
Yeah, on the Androids, we have the app for video games price charting. And of course, I'm trying to find the actual...
VPC.
I searched it, but it didn't come up, so I'm going to have to find it separately. Let's go to GameCube. And this is by popularity. Let's go with high to low price. Go from there. Of course, the Wind Waker combo with Metroid Prime is the highest one.
Which we had in our disc replay.
We did.
$214.
I'm not seeing it.
Really?
Yeah.
It surprises me.
Yeah, it surprises me too, because that's how I knew how much it was when I found... Because, okay, when I sold all my video game stuff, and I've told that story here before, but I sold my GameCube stuff. All of it. 100%. And then I was going through my stuff, and I still had the case for this, but not the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap.
I thought it was like $100 or $200.
No.
The promotional one?
Oh, hell no. It wasn't that much. When I found out that I still had this, and Rob just had the disc, it was like $50. It wasn't anywhere near that much. You're thinking of something else. That's crazy high.
Well, right now you can get it for about $44 on eBay.
Yeah, on eBay.
And then Bonanza has it for $7.91.
What's Bonanza? I never heard of that one.
Right here.
Bonanza.
Welcome to Bonanza. Price is $7.91. Oh, replacement case, no game.
Don't you love when they have that?
It'd be nice if you put that on there, and then they've got one. Oh, that's an Etsy poll. Somebody built a Nintendo custom design.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty neat. Anywho.
Expensive?
Expensive.
Expensive.
It's nifty.
Okay. Zelda Collector's Edition. I found it. On price charting, loose $35, complete $40.
So $44 is
it's gone down by 10. But the story is about this is that I got this with the game or with the GameCube, and then I ended up playing. That's where I played the first Zelda and Zelda 2 for the first time, and then that's where when I said I played a lot of Ocarina with my friend, this is where I put a lot of time in with it by myself. And then I still couldn't get into Majora's. So I tried playing it, but then I played Wind Waker, and I'm like, this looks like crap. I hate it. I don't like the graphics. It's all toony, cel shaded. Don't like it. I like it now.
It's fantastic.
I like it now.
First time I played all the way through is when I got my Wii U. The
little remake, remaster, HD.
Yep. Got the one. Mine came with the special gamepad.
Oh, you got the full system. Yeah, that's right. You got the.
I got the full system, so I didn't actually get the hard copy. I got downloaded. So it doesn't matter to me.
Because now when you go to buy this, it doesn't have the reflective cover.
Right.
Put it right in your face. All right, so I only had the case for this after I sold my game stuff. I'm like, there's no way that I sold this without the case. I'm not like that. Like, if I'm going to sell something, I'm going to give you everything I have for it.
Right.
So, and I remember Rob was playing this right after we moved out, or right around the time we moved out, because he was playing it on his Wii. And I asked him, I'm like, do you still have my Zelda disc? in your Wii? He goes, hell if I know. I'm like, weren't you playing? Because he ended up having one of my GameCube controllers.
Right.
And I'm like, I thought it was really weird that he had one of my GameCube controllers when I bought the GameCube off of his wife.
Right.
And he goes, hey, I got one of yours from the old one. I'm like, that's where that went. Because I ended up selling the GameCube with just a Wavebird. Because that's all I had. So I'm like, you had the GameCube controller. I think you were playing Zelda. He goes, yeah, that sounds right. He goes, I'll look. And when he plugged the system in, took the disc out, and it was some hunting game for the Wii. I'm like, oh, he goes, but what if I look in the hunting game? And it was in there. And it was so cool because this is something that it's kind of like not that easy to come across. I've seen a couple in the wild.
Yeah.
But like, I'm really excited that I have it now. There's actually another promo collector's edition set to get that I don't have, and it is the Ocarina of Time Master Quest set.
Oh, yes.
Ocarina of Time and then Ocarina of Time Master Quest. And that is I've seen it in the wild, and it's just like, I'm having trouble justifying a $45 to $50 purchase to getting it. However, to complete my Zelda collection,
you have some more things to get.
like what to do, you know?
Yeah, Minish and...
Yeah, I've got to get the handhelds for like the other one, because then you end up picking up Minish Cap.
Yes.
For the GBA.
I enjoy it because it is almost the same world as Link to the Past, but it's different because now you get Minish, you become Mini.
Well, like,
and it makes it all
like that's a sequel to Wind Waker.
Yes.
So like, you know,
well,
yes.
No, it's not really a sequel. It's its own. It's set in Link to the Past world. You are set into the Link to the Past because you go through the same city and you shrink down. It's kind of its own.
Well, because Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, those are like sequels to Wind Waker.
Yeah. And
I didn't know if Minish Cap was or not.
No, it's kind of its own thing. It's kind of set in that world, but it's kind of not. It's really hard to explain. Really hard to explain.
Well, then,
because it's got water going through the main city now, and like you got a causeway and stuff like that, but it's still set up almost the exact same way.
Well, I mean, if you want to be like legit, like nothing is almost as like disorienting or like hard to figure out than these Zelda timelines, because there's so many games, and it's like they're not super clear, and they're really vague about that kind of stuff.
Ocarina of Time pretty much shoots 3 different directions.
Yeah, something like that. But then, like, all right, so like we don't have Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass.
No.
Don't have that yet. And
those are 2 I'm looking for, but they're still $35. And I can't justify buying them right now.
Yeah, dude, like I think the lowest I've seen is about 30. But then, like, okay, so we get to Twilight. And I got Twilight on the GameCube, and then just last year I got the Wii U HD remake.
Yes.
And
great. If you don't have it, you need to get it.
I never played this on the Cube.
I did. That's what I originally played it on.
I originally played it on the Wii, and I didn't like it because of the motion controls.
Huh.
And so when I found out that the Wii version is this version flopped, like the image is cropped and like flipped over, and then made for the motion controls, and this one is made for like traditional controls.
Yeah.
That I sought it out, paid way more than what I wanted for it to get this version. And then after I like bit the bullet and paid too much for this version, they announced this version.
I remember that.
And so it's like, it's cool that I have both. You know what I mean? It is, because like being a collector, part of me, well, like, and I've said this before, where it's like a lot of times it doesn't matter to me if I own every version of every copy.
Right.
Just as long as I have a version of it, I'm cool.
Same here.
So like, part of me is like, it's like, I wish I would have waited, because I just could have got the Wii U version and got the better version of the game and been cool. But then another part of me is like, now my GameCube collection is not very, very big, but like this is a big title of that. And
that's one of the ones you almost have to have.
And so like, well, like the Zelda games in general, and just the first party Nintendo stuff, yeah. I have a lot more of that than what I could have if I just settled for, because you know, like I bought Wind Waker well before the Wind Waker HD came out,
Yeah.
You know, or did I?
I thought you did.
No, I bought that after because I got the Wind Waker HD on the day that I did my big gaming pickup.
Okay.
And then I had the Wind Waker case because my buddy Tony gave me Resident Evil on GameCube in like a Wind Waker case, but it's only disc 2.
Right.
And like he didn't realize it. So I've had that sitting around for years, just a Wind Waker case. And then when I bought Wind Waker, it was in a bestseller case with a big old sticker on it, or big, and it's not even a sticker. It's a big old plastered additional
Gold.
graphic.
Yeah, it's a gold ribbon.
It's like a graphic that says bestseller, and I put it in the non-bestseller case. But then the Wii U version of this came out, and then of course it comes with the Amiibo, which I didn't open at all. It's still in the package. It doesn't really come out of there too often.
Also comes with a CD, soundtrack CD.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where it's at. Wait, what? You don't have it.
I don't have a CD.
Should. Mine did.
No, it doesn't say anything at all about a soundtrack CD.
I got the soundtrack one. I wonder if I got that with a different game. Anywho.
Yeah, you got me wondering. But
I can see.
now, see, in Breath of the Wild, you can use this amiibo and get him as like a companion, the wolf.
Still not opening it.
No,
Still not
I'm
going to get
not.
open.
I'm not. This is pretty freaking pristine. And I'm not a really huge amiibo collector. I think with this one, I've got 5. I've got Yarn Yoshi. I've got 8-Bit Mario, Sonic, and Mega Man.
I have a lot.
And like I want to get the 8-Bit Link now, like you got, just to put up there.
I have every Zelda one, excluding the Breath of the Wilds, because I just can't find them. I don't know if they. I can't find them anywhere, and online they're a little pricey.
Are they?
I believe there's 2. There is a Guardian, and
Yeah.
then there is Link with the ancient bow shooting the ancient arrows.
And then they have a 2-pack of Link and Zelda.
Yep.
Together.
Those are the ones I don't have, and I will have them eventually.
And the amiibos, like this one here says like the other Zelda amiibos work as well. The Link, Toon Link, Zelda, Sheik, and Ganondorf. Link and Toon Link refill your arrows. Zelda and Sheik restore your health. And Ganondorf take double damage.
To hard mode.
I see. I was gonna say, like, why would you want that?
And then this one should open up the additional.
Into the new Cave of Shadows.
Yep.
Well, if only we could try and find these things opened in a secondhand store one day.
I still have yet to see any of them open at all.
I know, like, our disc replay, they had a bunch of amiibos, but they didn't have any Zelda ones.
I've never seen. I go in there quite frequently since I live right down the road. I've never seen a Zelda one in there, and the last time I went in there, a guy said somebody came in and bought all of them.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like, just all the amiibos?
All the amiibos. So, usually they have a lot of those, what is that, the little Animal Crossing ones?
Yes.
They usually have a bunch of those. They had nothing.
Nothing, huh?
They bought all of them. And I'm not going to the crazy Russian lady.
Oh, no.
She wants like $15 for an open amiibo. They're $9 or $12. Buy them brand new.
Zelda, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on the Wii. Didn't play this one back in the day. I got the reflective copy. Requires Wii Motion Plus.
Yes.
To even play this, which is cool because I think I've got one of those. Plus, I've got a lot of those little modules
It's
too.
a Zelda 25th anniversary.
Yeah, guess what? I don't have anything else with it. I don't have the soundtrack CD or anything else.
I think that's what mine was. Is I got the soundtrack CD and stuff with it.
With Skyward, because I found this randomly at Game Exchange, or now it's called Game.
HQ, but it still comes out as Game Exchange when you buy stuff.
Does it?
Because I bought, I bought a chest this weekend, yesterday. It's just like the chest from the original Zelda, and you pop it open, and it's a blue ruby. A 10. I couldn't stand to not buy it.
And then you buy it from there?
Yep.
And it still says Game Exchange?
Game Exchange, when it comes out of your account.
Yeah, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this because I don't see it. I don't ever see this game.
Yeah.
Like it just I don't know what it is. If it just never took off. Like I didn't hear too much about this one. Like when it came out, would it come out 2011?
It's the Wii. Nobody really. I mean, the Wii was a great selling console, but something like this requires you to use the motion. You have to block. You have to use the motion to really to play the game at all. So a lot of people don't like that, and I liked it. I got the Master Sword. That's as far as I made it because in everything, we've had a big slew of really good games coming out. So.
Now in the timeline, this is like the
first one.
First one.
It's the very first one.
It's like, jeez, I don't know what's going on in this world anymore.
There's such a. I want to see if I can pull it up. The timeline. The Zelda timeline.
I'm just very interested by depending on where you buy games, like you'll see like English and French on the back, or like I think this one has like it might be Spanish. Yeah, I think it's Spanish. It is English and Spanish. So like maybe if you buy this closer to the south of the border in America, you're gonna get English and Spanish. Closer to the north of the border, like near Montreal, you're gonna get English and French. Because I've actually bought a few games that are actually from Canada, but because it's still Region 1, it still works, but they also go to the extra step of putting English and French on there.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So Skyward Sword is obviously the first entry, then Minish Cap, and then Four Swords, which I believe that they're trying to say that is linked to the past also, when I look, no, it's not. Then Ocarina of Time. And then Ocarina of Time starts to split. So in the hero is defeated, A Link to the Past. Then Seasons and Ages, Link's Awakening, The Legend of Zelda, and An Adventure of Link. So that is that entire timeline of the hero being defeated. Now, I don't know, this timeline does not include the Breath of the Wild, because in the Breath of the Wild, if you played it, you are resurrected because you were put into stasis because you were defeated by Calamity Ganon. So
I
would assume that would go into the defeated line.
So that's from the Hyrule Historia.
Yeah, this is from the Hyrule Historia. And then you've got the hero succeeds, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Four Swords Hyrule Adventure, plus Hyrule Adventure. And then the hero of Wind in a New World, Ganondorf, is sealed. This is if he was sealed. It would be the Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks. So you were correct. They are technically spiritual successors to the line. But that is what it says. Like I said, it does not include
Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
because it is from the Historia, which is
before
predates
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Interesting. After that, I believe
the next one in the
line, I'm just going now towards like what one I played next, because when I bought my 3DS, I got day one. I got Ocarina of Time 3D.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Ocarina of Time. Obviously, I played it on the N64. I played it when I got my GameCube, and I'm like, I can play it with me in my pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely bought this and played the crap out of it and liked it a lot. But then
that one came out next. Yep.
Link Between Worlds, which is funny because I forgot about this when we were talking about this on the phone. This game is awesome.
It to me, that is a true spiritual successor to
Link to the Past. And that's exactly what it is, because it's the exact same map.
Yep.
Oh man,
it's great. God, it's a great game.
I played this a few months after it came out, and I ended up buying this from Kozad.
Yeah.
He bought it and then ended up getting, or his wife or somebody, either she bought them this one or he bought the Game Plus DS collectors, or
the one that I was trying to get, the 3DS.
Yes, 3DS.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting that, and then he had a separate copy. He goes, I don't need it. I've got it on the console. I don't care. He goes, do you want it? I'm like, sure. I'm like, how much? He goes, $25.
Yep.
Take my money.
Yep. And it was $40, and it was only out for a couple of days, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Because I want to say it was I don't think he was working up there anymore.
He wasn't.
And I think I just kind of saw him, like in passing, which was kind of cool because like normally something like that is like, oh, okay, I'll never see it. You know, I'll probably never see him again.
Yeah,
for like for a long time. But then I ended up like having the money and like, hey, did you bring it? He goes, yeah, it's right here, sealed. And yeah, so I cracked the seal and I ended up playing it. I absolutely loved the game. I felt like it brought me back to. This was the first Zelda game in a long time that brought me back to the enjoyment of when I was a kid playing the original. I like the new puzzle mechanic and the whole going into the wall thing.
Yes, making yourself a painting.
Yes, I thought that was so cool.
Yes.
Originally, they had planned that just for a boss. The boss was going to do it, and then they thought, well, like what if Link could do it too? And once they did that, then it kind of really changed how they thought about the dungeons.
Yeah.
And then they came up with that mechanic, and then they started working on all the dungeons and all the stuff.
Well, they did it before with Paper Mario.
But thinking about it in this and a completely different.
Right, but they had done it before, so they kind of knew what they were doing with it, and it made it. It was really good. It was a great game.
Oh, dude, it is.
The fact that wherever you make your painting at, you can go across.
Yeah.
You cannot go up and down, but no matter what, you're plastered to that. That's how you get around some of the castles.
Yeah, like
it's
a lot
really
of cool,
neat.
a lot of cool puzzle mechanics came out of that.
And then with the drop of the new 3DS came
Majora's Mask 3D. Yeah, of course, to go right along with the Ocarina of Time. Yeah. I don't own this. You own this.
I do.
I never even picked it up because I know, as I said, I never really dug Majora's Mask. And so, like, while the collector in me wants to get it to complete that set, I have it on N64. I have it on GameCube. It's like...
It definitely looks crisper.
Oh, I bet it does.
The look of it, it actually shows, I believe, the original. It does not.
I bet you can find comparisons online.
Yeah, but whenever they had it up, remember? Because I sat there and I was like, I really didn't like that game, but I need it.
So what do you think after playing some on that? Do you like Majora's any better than what you did before?
To be honest, I do because it's still Zelda, and I now am old enough that I can look past the screen.
Is it still that way?
Well, with the new 3DS, you can use
the thumbstick.
The thumbstick,
and it works just like that.
C-stick.
Yes, I'm so glad I talked you into buying that.
I am too because I actually got mine secondhand and traded mine in.
Same here. Same here. I had a regular blue 3DS XL, and I traded in when I sold all my gaming stuff. Mm-hmm. I bought the 3DS.
I think it only cost me like $60 after trade-in.
So like when I sold all my video games and did like the Xbox, GameCube, Wii, all that stuff, I turned around and bought the 3DS, and then I bought Ocarina. And we bought New Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yep.
And then shortly after that, bought Star Fox, stuff like that. But then it was sometime after that. I think I got Kingdom Hearts, Dream Drop Distance, and then I got like Peace Walker.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, not Peace Walker, Snake Eater. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And both of those games are infinitely better with a circle pad. So I was trying to find a circle pad for the 3DS XL.
Right.
Which, I mean, you can find them, you can order them. They're like
$20.
They're that much. And then I was looking at like the new 3DSs, and I'm like, I could get a circle pad, or I could get a new 3DS, and I'm like, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
But then I started doing the math because I think I got like $100 for Christmas that year, and there was something else. I mean, I think I might have been trading something extra in towards it. Or no, I was trading my 3DS in.
You say you're trading 3DS.
And then so I just said, we'll go in there and we'll ask them. We'll look. I've got the 3DS trade and I've got the $100. And yeah, I think it was about the same. It cost me about $60 to maybe $70 after tax.
Because it's $100. It was $160 is when I purchased mine. Then I purchased mine, I don't know, 2-3 weeks after, or about a month after you got yours.
Oh, dude, I absolutely love mine. Mine's the red one.
I believe mine is too.
Yeah, is mine over there? Sitting there? No?
No, nothing I can tell.
Wonder where it went.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
Wonder where it went.
I don't know what you do with it.
I don't know. I broke it.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. I know better. I don't see it.
But that made playing those games infinitely better.
It did.
And then, so I'm very glad to hear that it helps with Majora's.
It's still a little awkward. because that C-stick is very, it's not a true stick, so it's kind of, you run your finger across the system, it's really awkward, but I don't use it that often. I actually found myself using the reset more than the C-stick. And I was like, well, this is counterproductive. Why did I buy this? But there's certain things where like the camera's just slightly off. I don't mind resetting the camera. I do it in the new one quite often because I don't want to wrap all around. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it, and it helps a lot with your aiming and stuff like that. So yeah, I like it.
So Breath of the Wild came out beginning of March for the Wii U and the Switch. I'm so glad that they put a Wii U version out. That means they didn't have to go out and buy a Switch day one.
Yay!
So I was very glad that they ended up, because they didn't really market the Wii U version at all. They were marketing the Switch, which I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to sell a system. But then it's like you become to question, like, it was in January, and I'm like, are they bringing out a Wii U version? And I think somebody even had to ask them or ask Reggie. And he's like, yeah, we're still honoring the Wii U version.
They just removed the gamepad specific.
They removed the touch. Well, they removed the touch stuff. Like they had to do that anyway when they decided to make it for the Switch, right. which is what caused the game to be delayed so much, because they were thinking of launching the Switch at some point this year probably.
Right.
And they decided that that is the closest big game ready. So it's just like how Twilight Princess was for the GameCube and the Wii, where it came out for both of them. The Wii U and the Switch one is there, except the better part is that there's really no difference between them other than maybe like the Switch is just ever so slightly sharper in graphical fidelity.
To be honest, it doesn't matter where you play it. It's still a great game.
Well, no, hell no. It doesn't matter to me either. That's why I bought the Wii U version. It's not that drastic that it's like...
After seeing the Switch, when we did that...
Yeah.
Where we played it. Seeing it there, I was like, yeah, this is great. But, I mean, it's not like, oh my God.
Well, yeah,
I have to get it here.
Yeah, no.
So,
but I mean,
and I will.
Like, if I was getting a Switch, I would have bought it.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, it was just a matter of, I want more games for it other than Zelda. Even though that's a great game to get at launch for it because of how many hours you're going to sink into it.
Yes, I don't even know how many hours I have in it. I stopped counting and just started going. I find myself just disappearing in the world, and it hasn't happened in a Zelda game for me. Like, to go out and once you have certain stuff, it doesn't matter anymore. Once you do those first four shrines, there's really nothing else that you're going to get that's significant outside of the hero armor. You get hero armor.
And then you get the items and then the bonuses for the
right, which so far that I've uncovered, one of them is the extra life with extension of hearts.
Yeah.
And then the lightning one, which is the
desert.
The desert one. Every time you do one of your ultimate attacks, which I never do, like when you do
like the charge swing.
His charge swing. It now shoots out electricity out from you. So it's like an electrical discharge. That's cool.
And that'd be cool to do if you ever start getting surrounded.
Right. And then I have what's called Updraft. And that is the Riku's champion. You create a Updraft. You actually jump, and then it's like a super jump.
Oh, cool.
So you hold it down, and then he'll get down on the ground, and then you'll see like the wind start circling around him, and then it'll
shoot him up.
And then you shoot up, and you shoot up high, like far enough to where you can lose half your life immediately if you land all the way down.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, so it really boosts the ability to get up high.
Yeah.
And I use that.
And does that use a lot of stamina to do that?
Uses 0 stamina.
So then you can do that and then climb from there. You can do it
3 times before it has to recharge.
Oh, cool.
So what I've done is like there was a point in the game which I found myself being pretty stupid at the village, is that I was at the Ritu village and I thought it said, go find Jeb. Well, the way it was specifically placed on the map, the dot was exactly at the tip of the highest point, and he said he's at the flight something place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you think, where did a bird go? The highest point to, do that. So I'm climbing up this mountain. It took me like an hour and a half, and I can't get to the top. I don't have enough stamina to get to the top. And I fell down. I literally fell down right in front of the lady. And I was like, well, I'm an idiot. Because you think about Zelda, you think that so a lot of the times it'll say, because it's layers. And when you have a map, it doesn't specify the layer. It just specifies the tier. And in this game, it's so large in scale. I mean, I just dropped into a ravine that's lower than Death Mountain is tall. So it's
what I like about it is that
crazy.
Not only whatever you see can you go there, you can get there in like 3 or 4 different ways.
Yes.
And so like it doesn't limit you. It limits you based on your stamina, limits you based on like the enemies nearby.
With this new ability that will wind up, there was that Thunder Shrine. Now, I as I think about it, as we're talking about it, I think, well, that's how I'm going to do that. Get that Thunder Shrine in a couple seconds. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I was just sort of like, thinking like, if you had to pick out a top 5.
Labeled in order?
Yeah.
In order, okay. Let's start.
Because I think you and me both have number 1, or at least my number 1 is still Link to the Past.
For the game, only for the purpose that the game introduced me to the series, and I absolutely there was nothing about this game that I'll ever dislike for the rest of my life. To me, it is one of the perfect games made.
I agree.
All
that's
around,
why it's my number 1.
Perfect game. Yes, I will give that my number 1. But literally on its heels is Breath of the Wild. But I haven't finished Breath of the Wild, so it might go up, it might go down.
We'll see, and that's why I'm actually putting Link Between Worlds as number 2, and then I'm putting Breath of the Wild as number 3.
Okay.
Because I actually think Breath of the Wild is that good, even though I'm like a little bit behind you right now because I stopped to play Mass Effect.
Right.
My enjoyment of the game is higher than any of the other games that I've played, like besides Link to the Past. It is one of the of the 3D era, that is the best one for me.
My third one is Twilight.
There was Twilight?
Twilight. I love Twilight. I played the crap. That is, besides Link to the Past, the most played game of Zelda that I played.
I'm struggling. I'm really struggling because the top 3 came pretty easy, and I got the last 2, and I'm like, I'm looking and I'm thinking Ocarina is going to be number 4.
Wow.
I think Ocarina will be number 4 because then I have Wind Waker and I have Twilight that are competing for the number 5 spot now, and it's so hard.
I have mine. I have mine all figured out. I mean, it's pretty quick for me.
I think I'll go Twilight. Number 1, Link to the Past. Number 2, Link Between Worlds. 3, Breath of the Wild. Number 4, Ocarina. Number 5, Twilight. There you go. I did it.
There you go. I did it. You get nothing else. So mine, this game, Link Between Worlds, it's not on my top 5. Even though I love the game, it's not. Because I have yet to beat Skyward Sword, but it's the beginning of... it says that it's the beginning, but it's not the beginning. There's always a legend of the legend. It's just the way it is. It's like, you have been chosen to be the next da-da-da-da. But no, this game, Skyward Sword, it starts out and it starts giving you a history. Hyrule is actually a floating city. You're considered gods to the people below. And it just, there's a goddess. But yet, you guys are the goddesses and the gods to the people below.
Yeah.
And it's unique how they have this, how it starts. Because the legend starts of a hero descending from the sky to save the earth. And that's where the real story starts, is here. But there was somebody that did it before you. And then Wind Waker. Because Wind Waker is just a fantastic game. I mean, through and through, it's a fantastic game. It's fun.
See, and like as I said, as much as I didn't want to like Wind Waker, I eventually did like Wind Waker, and I got over the like the graphic style, because that's what held me back, because I hated the way it looked. I didn't like the whole little conducting thing that he does, but I got over it, and it's a damn good game.
It is.
And
I like the way it's underwater on that one too. It's really cool.
It's just a matter of like when I got to the end, it's like I was thinking, I'm like, Breath is up there, man. Breath is one of the first games in a long time that have come along that made me go wow, because as I played all the Zelda games, the first one was Link, and then Ocarina was cool, and I liked it, but it didn't give me a wow factor.
Right. This one definitely.
But then, and after all these years and all this time, A Link Between Worlds gave me that wow factor.
Yeah.
Gave me that love for Zelda again. And then Breath of the Wild definitely, on the get-go, gave me a wow factor. I thought it was the coolest Zelda game that they've come out with in years.
So I have a question for you, and it's very, very soon in Breath of the Wild. When you were walking to the shrine, the first shrine, not a shrine, but the first cathedral that had the big statue of the goddess in it.
Yeah.
As you were walking through the river, or getting ready to jump over the river, did you look off to your right and see that there is a sword in a stone?
Is there?
It looks exactly like the Master Sword Stone, and it's got it. And I'm like, I walk up to it, and I'm like, I know it's not it.
Yeah.
Because I've read the reviews and stuff, but it was just cool to see him. And it's like a giant claymore. It's like as big as him. But they've had a lot of. In this game, I've noticed that there's a lot of little hints back to the old Link.
Yeah.
The Link, Link to the Past, and you've just a lot of stuff in it. It's just it's so good.
I agree, and I really hope to finish my collection off one day with the DS games, and of course with with the Minish Cap from GBA. It's just a matter of me collecting, and I've cut myself off for the rest of the year. I'm not buying old games. No old games. No more old games. Just new games.
So just be me bringing in old games.
Yeah, well, and that's just a part of like where I'm at and where I'm at in my life, and how I'm very satisfied with my 816 games in my collection. And it's like Nate said a few weeks ago. It's like he's like, what are you gonna do when you hit 1,000? Are you going to do some cool little, like, marquee thing? And he said to me off air. And I'm like, I'm not even looking at that. I'm like my goal has never been numbers.
Right.
Never been numbers. My goal was just to get the games that I wanted to get. And number one. And number two, get the games that I never got to play that I want to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, you start collecting Zelda, and then you start getting into a kick of, I want all the Zelda games.
Right.
Because even if I'm not that big into Majora's, and I've got a copy of it, it's like maybe one day I can get myself over it. Just like you said, you finally got over the whole camera thing. Maybe one day I can get myself past the motion controls of Skyward Sword, and I can really enjoy the game. But until then, I have it.
You have it.
And I have it, and it's not going anywhere.
So I was going to bring all of my collectibles, and as I started... That was awkward. That was a bird. As I started to put them in a bag, I realized this isn't going to work.
Too big.
I didn't realize. Over time, you pick stuff up. I'm big on collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say no to some collectibles, like that little chest with the jewel in it.
Didn't you buy the Final Fantasy the Moogle?
Silk? No, it is on its way, but it's going to take a while.
I see.
I just can't not buy them. They're so hard for me to not buy, because I love them so much that it's cool to have those iconic figures. Like I have a little Toon Link, and then I have every amiibo excluding the new ones, and tons of I got a new poster of Ganon. I believe that would be from Twilight. It doesn't specify what it is. It just says Zelda, and then it has Link fighting Ganon.
And I've got my Link Between Worlds poster.
You got your Link Between Worlds poster.
All the way back there, yeah.
And I've got so much. They got the Monopoly The Ocarina of Time Monopoly.
Like, did you get Monopoly?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I got tons of little stuff hanging around the house. We really looked at it. She's like, I didn't know you had this much stuff. And I was like, get a couple of T-shirts that doesn't fit.
I've got a Zelda shirt, and I want to get a few more.
Yes.
I want to get some new Mass Effect apparel because they've now released the Andromeda shirts. I just saw a friend of ours that has been on the show. He was on the episode over at VillainCon. Daniel Connor. He went to a con somewhere, and he's wearing an Andromeda Initiative shirt.
That'd be cool. I like to have an Andromeda Initiative.
I just like literally, it's like a gray long sleeve shirt with just like the AI little blue logo.
And that's it?
Yeah. But I like it because it's so small, and it's like, if you don't know what it is, you don't even know what it is. But if you know what it is,
you're going to be like, hey.
Hey, that's cool. Because I saw him posting pictures of him getting pictures with like some of the people that were at the con. And I liked the picture it said and just went, nice shirt.
That's what you said, nice shirt.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, if that is going to cover it for this, I mean, I really don't have much else to say other than Zelda's awesome.
When you look at this, I mean, look at how much is out. If you exclude some of the remakes, so that will take these out.
This out.
This out. We'll leave that one. The collection out. And Wind Waker out. So this is, and we're missing 2.
We're missing 2.
3.
Are we missing 3?
I believe it was 3. Because we do not have 4 Swords.
Oh, yeah, the Four Swords Adventures, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then so you have 18.
Yep.
That's all the games. Now, Oracle of Ages and Seasons, those are actually like
they're together. They're considered as one single game.
Oh, okay. So then that's like 817 then. But if you count them as separate, then they're 18 games. 18 games over the course of.
Oh wait, I had it up. Right when you said that, from
the first game came out what
86.
86.
Last game was 2017.
So 2016 was the 30th. Am I counting right?
2011 was the 25th year anniversary.
Okay, yeah. So
Skyward Sword.
So 16 was the 30th year anniversary of Zelda.
31 is 17.
No, I said 16.
16, yeah.
I said last year.
31 years. It's been 31 years, and we got 18 games. That's pretty good.
It is pretty damn good.
I can't argue that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode as we gushed about Zelda and talked about our favorite games. What are your favorite games? Let us know down in the comments down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, get a hold of us on social media. Game Addicts Play on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Let us know what your favorite Zelda games are down below. And any of those mediums, to tweet us, message us, comment us, whatever you want to do. If you're listening to this for the first time and you're just like, what are these goofballs talking about Zelda? They don't know anything. Well, guess what? Well, hopefully we know something, and hopefully we can get you to listen to some of our other episodes, which you can get on our podcast RSS feed. We're on iTunes, we're on Podbean, we're on Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. All those, you can go search Podcast Addict app if you got that. You can search that. Search the iTunes feature, and you find us there as well. All of our past episodes. You can go to GameAddictsPodcast.podbean.com on the website and just go back on all the episodes that we put up. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Well, that didn't show up on my screen. I thought you had more.
I know I ain't got no more than that. I'm your host, Brando.
And I am Player 2 Mike.
And we will see you next time.